What is going on, everybody? Welcome here to the Endzone podcast hosted by me, your host, Brendan. I'm actually the current host as well as the B2 podcast on Spotify. This is strictly a football-only podcast where we will talk everything football related. So welcome here to the first episode of the Endzone, where you will get new episodes every single Friday. And this week, we are actually going to be discussing the Tyreek Hill trade that went down. So as you guys don't know, the Chiefs agreed to allow Tyreek Hill to seek a trade because Tyreek Hill wanted big-time money. And the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets were, in fact, in on Tyreek Hill. But the Dolphins ended up winning the Tyreek Hill sweepstakes. So I'm going to pull up Adam Schefter's Instagram, and we're going to discuss the trade of how all this planned out. So let's do it. Adam Schefter. Okay. So the Dolphins are getting six-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Tyreek Hill. In exchange, they're going to be sending the Dolphins will be sending the Chiefs 5 draft picks. A 2022 first, which is this year, number 29, a second round pick, which is pick 50 for this year, a 4th round pick, as well as a 4th and a 6th round pick in the 2023 NFL draft. And the Chiefs are getting back, I think the Chiefs are also sending the Dolphins a 5th round pick for Mr. Tyreek Hill. And then the Chiefs, so the Chiefs would get picks 35, 38, and 69. That was the Jets deal. Alright, so I think it's a good move from both sides. Tyreek Hill wanting to be paid. The Chiefs are obviously giving Patrick Mahomes a lot of money to be their guy. So I think it makes a lot of sense for both sides. I think the Chiefs kind of lose this deal a little bit, though, because I think Patrick Mahomes, his favorite target, as we know, was Tyreek Hill. So I think now that Tyreek Hill is gone, Patrick Mahomes will struggle just a little bit. I mean, they did pick up Marquez Valdes-Scantling from the Packers, which is my favorite team, and they have Nicole Hallman. They still have assets, but I think for Patrick Mahomes' standpoint, I think this is a huge loss for Patrick Mahomes because I think that now he doesn't have his number one guy in Tyreek Hill. So now his number one guy is Travis Kelce, who he has good connections with. Don't get me wrong, Travis Kelce is a phenomenal tight end. But I think Mahomes takes the biggest skip, and honestly, I think this sets the Chiefs back in the AFC West. Because you look at what teams have done, what the Broncos, Raiders, and Chargers have done. Let's name what the Broncos have done. They brought in Russ, which by itself makes them, because they were already a pretty scary team with that team having Javonte Williams and Courtland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy and Tim Patrick. Now you're adding Russell Wilson to that, and Denver looks like they are going to be scary if Russell Wilson can stay healthy, because we don't know how his finger already injured is going to be. The Raiders pick up Devontae Adams from the Packers in the trade, and reunite him with his former college quarterback Derek Carr, which we all saw how Joe Burrow did with Jamar Chase. It's going to be scary. And then the Chargers picked up Khalil Mack to make Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack that pass rushing duo, man. So I think the Chiefs are going to be fine. I just think the Chiefs take the biggest hit here because the Chiefs, in my opinion, were the best team with Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with all those assets. Now you trade Tyreek to the Dolphins. Who do you replace him with? Do you go with Chris Olave from Ohio State? Like, what do they do? I don't know. And I feel like at this point, if I'm a Chiefs fan, and Chiefs fans, you guys can hit me up if you disagree. I feel like the Chiefs, they're going to be fine. But I feel like Mahomes now needs to find chemistry with a new receiver. Like, who is going to be the new Tyreek Hill for Patrick Mahomes? That's kind of where I'm at right now. I think it's a good move for the Chiefs, though. They get a little bit more, and they kind of can see, like, Kelce, Hogman, Valdes-Scantling. But I would have never thought Tyreek Hill would have been dealt from Kansas City to Miami. But he was, and I think it's a win for both sides. Now let's talk about the Dolphins side of things. Miami, obviously, they fired Brian Flores. This ownership, he was disagreeing with a lot of the things ownership was saying, so they fired him. And Now you look at what Brian Flores is going to bring to the Dolphins. As a standpoint, the Dolphins. The Dolphins. Excuse me, I'm breaking up here. The Dolphins, instead of bringing the 49ers, I believe, offensive coordinator, Mike McDaniel, who I was not a fan of a hire. Mike McDaniel, for those of you who don't know, was the one who invented that running game of 49ers in 2019, the year they went to the Super Bowl. That running game of Mostert and all that. And I was not a big fan of a Mike McDaniel hire at first, but I think it'll be a good move. They bring in Chase Edmonds from Arizona. They bring in Raheem Mostert, so he's reconnecting with Mike McDaniel this time in Miami. And then they bring in, I don't think they brought in any, then they bring in Teron Armstead from the Saints, and then they obviously bring in Tyreek Hill from the Kansas City Chiefs. This is my opinion. This is Tua Tagovailoa's year. This is prove it year. Because if Tua cannot take the next big step with a new receiver, with a new running back, and a new head coach, I think that he is going to be in trouble just because if Tua cannot succeed with Tyreek Hill and with a new head coach and Tyreek Hill and Chase Edmonds and Raheem Mostert, I think the Dolphins need to consider going in a different quarterback direction because Tua, now he has a number one guy on top of Jalen Waddle, Devontae Parker, Mike Gesicki. He has Raheem Mostert on the backfield. Chase Edmonds is a good receiving back. He has Tyreek Hill, as I mentioned 50 times already. Tua has the weapons to succeed this year. Now, obviously, like I said, I think the Dolphins win this trade. But my whole thing is Miami needs, I think, to continue to work him at offensive line because I think Tua is not comfortable yet in the NFL with that line. And so I think they'll continue to work on it. They're also putting Alec Ingold from the Raiders. So they're making moves, kind of putting the pieces around Tua, trying to see. I think Tyreek Hill is going to be a huge help for Tua because now he has a deep threat that he can really just go like this to and then chuck it down the field for 50, 60 yards. I think that will be a huge move and a huge confidence boost for a team like Tua and for a team like the Dolphins, who is kind of in a relatively easy division with only the Bills being the really big threat. I mean, New England had that year went to the playoffs but then got stomped by the Bills. And the Patriots have kind of lost more than they gained. They lost J.C. Jackson to the Chargers. They traded Stephon Gilmore for a 6 to Carolina during the regular season. So I feel like it's the Bills. And then the rest of the team is kind of even out. I still am going to take Bill Belichick to come in second, then the Dolphins, then the Jets. But the Dolphins are going in the right direction where they can probably get to the postseason in 2 years. Because usually under first-year head coaches and new players, it takes some time to gel, and it just takes some time to get used to it. So I think the Dolphins should be good, and if Tua cannot succeed and continue, if Tua cannot put the weapons around him and Tua struggles, I think Miami does indeed need to move on from Tua because I think then Tua becomes a lackability around you, and that's not what you want. You don't want Tua. You don't want your franchise guy that you're investing millions of draft picks in to protect and millions of draft picks given away to trade for assets like they got with Tyreek Hill, just for him to be bad in a sense where he can't succeed with winning as much as he would like. So I do believe there is a sense of urgency. This is a must-win for Tua, and I feel like Tua benefits the most from his deal. And yes, I feel like Tua benefits from it. Alright, so now we're going to talk about some other deals that went on. So, like I said, I give that trade like a B. If we're doing it based off teams, I give the Chiefs a B, Miami an A. I think both sides kind of gave what they wanted, and I think the Dolphins would get the benefits of it. Now let's talk about Baker Mayfield, because as you all know, or if you've been remembering the rock for the past couple weeks, Deshaun Watson was cleared and will not. Well, he hasn't officially been cleared, but he will not be facing criminal charges for 22 sexual assault allegations that 22 women made against him during the 2020 NFL season that caused. 2020 off season that he started out 2021 for. So now where's Baker going? A lot of teams already have their new quarterbacks in place. The Colts went with Matt Ryan, but the Colts just seem to love old QBs. Like, Colts would have had a chance to get Baker instead of go after Matt Ryan, who isn't no Tom Brady. Like, he blew a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl. Like, I don't know. I just feel like the Colts kind of have their quarterback. Chargers, Chiefs, Raiders. They all kind of have their quarterbacks in the AFC West. AFC East, Jets, Bills, Patriots, Dolphins, all have quarterbacks. The AFC's North, Steelers, Bengals, Browns, and Bengals all have their quarterbacks. And obviously, Baker is coming over from the Browns. AFC South, Titans, Colts, Jags have their quarterbacks. The Texans don't. Baker's lucky that in that deal to get to Deshaun Watson, he was not involved in going to Houston. The situation could have been a lot worse. In the NFC, San Francisco, LA, Arizona have their quarterbacks. Opens up Seattle, but I don't know if Seattle's going to stick with Drew Lock or if they're going to draft Kenny Pickett or Malik Willis to kind of be that guy. NFC North, Green Bay, Chicago, Minnesota all have their quarterbacks. Detroit needs to figure out, is Jared Goff the long-term? Jared Goff's not the long-term answer in Detroit. But Detroit needs to figure out, are they going to draft a guy, or are they going to trust Jared Goff for a few years into the Dan Campbell era? That's what the Lions need to figure out. And in the NFC South, Tampa, New Orleans all have their quarterback. And Atlanta has their quarterback, because I guess they're going to go with Marcus Mariota. So it kind of just leaves Baker if he was Seattle or Carolina at this point. Unless Atlanta feels like they're going to go after him. But Atlanta I don't think would do that, because they wouldn't give Marcus Mariota a 2-year deal to then just go out and get Baker Mayfield and basically make Mariota like a starter. And tell Mariota you can So, I don't know. I just feel like it's difficult for me to comprehend. But I feel like Baker Mayfield is... Him and Jimmy Garoppolo kind of lose the situation. But I feel like in the modern day, the team, if Carolina or Seattle or whatever does decide to choose a quarterback, in my personal opinion, I would rather have Jimmy Garoppolo up as current moment Baker Mayfield. Just because Jimmy Garoppolo has proven, and he proved it this year by beating Dallas and Green Bay, that he is clutch. And he is clutch in the postseason no matter what. And Baker he beat the Steelers, who were 11-0, but were kind of already frauds and overrated at that point. So in my opinion, I believe that Baker Mayfield is the odd man out here, because I think that if a team does shoot for a quarterback, I do think they would rather have Jimmy Garoppolo than Baker Mayfield. Which is just so unfortunate, because like Jimmy Garoppolo, I mean, Baker was the number 1 overall pick, was a Heisman Trophy winner coming out of Oklahoma, and now he's probably in the worst position in the whole league. But let me know what you guys think. Would you rather have Jimmy Garoppolo or Baker Mayfield? And also, where do you think those two guys wind up? I think Jimmy will wind up in Carolina Panthers, and I think Baker Mayfield will wind up in Seattle. I think the Seahawks will realize that Drew Lock is not the answer, and he's no lock at quarterback. That was a bad pun. Anyway, I got one more move. I got one more big transaction I want to discuss with you all, and I just want to discuss this offseason for quarterbacks. Just for quarterbacks specifically, and for star players, has been insane. We have seen stars like Khalil Mack, Russell Wilson, Tyreek Hill, all get moved, and this is the crazy. This is the wildest offseason in NFL history. And I think it's good football. There hasn't been no dominant team like in years past. The Patriots of Tom Brady were dominating everything. Nope. Packers are good. Rams are good. Bucks are good. All these teams are going to be good. And honestly, I think it's really fun. And I'm really looking forward to this upcoming season. I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think this has been the most craziest off season of all time in the National Football League? Comment down below yes or no. That is going to wrap up this week's the first episode of the End Zone. I will join you guys every Friday here. Thank you guys. I just want to say thank you guys for the support. Support has been tremendous. And I really cannot thank you guys enough for that tremendous and continuous support of this. Make sure you guys check out the other social links down below. Make sure you guys go check out my other podcast, the B2 Podcast. Instagram will be there. And thank you guys so much. Hopefully you guys enjoy these episodes like I am, because I'm a huge football guy and I just want to talk about my passion with other people's passions. I have a lot of things planned for this podcast. I got merch coming soon. I'll talk to you guys next episode. Stay cool, stay classy. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.